Sunset students, Bison Nation, welcome back to episode 5 of DAT SHOW.
That's right, we made it to 5 and we haven't got fired yet. So
Never thought I'd see the day.
All right, as you know, D.A.T, T-Mac, they right behind the camera. Everybody in the crowd say what's up.
Hey! Okay.
Get the show going. Okay, so with 7 games to go in the season, the girls basketball is currently sitting in 5th place, fighting for that final playoff berth. Though, let's talk about the strides that you made throughout the season, and how do you feel this is going so far?
It's definitely good in comparison to last year. Last year we ended up 5-7 in district. Right now we have 4 wins, like you said, with 7 games left. So it's good to see that growth and definitely the chance. We will break that record from last year, which was a record broke from, I think it was 10 years before that. So it's awesome to see we're still going in the right direction. And then having 7 games left, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for opportunity to slip back in the playoff race, and we can definitely make something happen.
So obviously we have a huge game tonight against Bruce. I know that's going to be very important to your possible playoff chances.
Right.
What is the mindset of the team going into this big game?
We're ready. We're ready. We know we got a lot of games coming up back to back to back. But definitely this one is set apart a little bit. We got Wednesday, we will play them today. We have a day of rest before we have a doubleheader. But we know how important this game is to our future and playoff hopes. But definitely the girls are focused, ready for that game.
Man, from an X's and O's standpoint, D.A.T, what do you feel as if the girls need to do in order to be able to make it over the hump and get that first playoff spot in almost 9 years?
I think the biggest thing is going into this game, knowing we lost by 2 points. A couple controversial things happened. I ended up finishing off the game with a couple of our starters not in the game due to some things. So we definitely want to just go in there. Obviously we want to win the game, but we think it's going to come down to that first quarter. How well we play in that first quarter. Definitely going to give them a run and a good start to that game. This was a big week for Sunset softball with the beginning of practice and tryouts and all that kind of stuff. With it being a new season and a new type of season due to COVID, tell me some protocols y'all are having to go through, and then how was that first week of actual tryout?
Well, obviously, yes, there are a lot of changes that's occurring because of not just COVID, but for construction going on. So we are practicing all of our tryouts and everything will be done at the Rangers Youth Academy. Shout out to them for allowing us to use their field as we go through this transition. We have put a lot of policies in place regarding COVID, 6 feet of separation, masks, bringing their own water. Those things are in place. But the players, they are bought into it. They, have done a good job of accepting it so far. A lot of them have already been playing in other leagues or organizations, so they are kind of familiar with the rules from what they've been doing in their tournaments. But very excited about getting this year going. So we ready to rock and roll. And here with us, we do have 2 of our current varsity softball players. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Yomar Hernandez. Hi, I'm Kayla Torres.
Okay, and so last year, obviously, our season was cut short. But how did you feel about the overall season?
I felt like we played pretty good. Our team was strong, even though COVID-19, broke us apart. But I felt like this year will come on strongly.
Okay, and Kayla, this was obviously both of y'all first year on varsity. So how was the transition going from JV to varsity full time?
I got to learn from other players, and it was a great opportunity to learn from them.
All right, so now going into this season, now that we are back, what is the one thing that you both are looking forward to the most?
Well, mostly just playing out through the whole season and getting to learn and practice more, and just showing off how we practice during the summer.
And lastly, what do you feel as if your expectations are going to be for the season? I mean, I know there's a lot of pressure on you guys last year. Even though we lost some kids, the pressure is still the same. So how do you feel as if the season is going to end out?
Just coming out strongly. I think we have a pretty good team so far, and just winning every game we can play. And if we don't win a game, then just learn from it, so the next game we can come out strongly.
All right, so again, thank y'all for coming to be a part of our the DAT Show. First softball players to be on the show. We look forward to have many more to participate in the near future. Definitely look forward to a big season from both of y'all, and I'm ready to get going. Okay, and so as always, we pick a special player who has made an impact both in competition and in the classroom and in the community to be our player of the week. and we named that player of the week after that person's favorite teacher. However, this person's favorite teacher is not only her teacher, he's also her mother. So with that being said, the Lisa Torres player of the week is...
Drum roll, please. Annalise Ariano. Woo! All right, shout out to Annalise. She definitely played a big part in our success this year. Earlier in the season, she was awesome, doing great. She fell into a little slump, but knew she would get out of it. The last two games, two of our toughest games, she ended up with 9 points and then 10 points. So shout out to Annalise for staying the course, getting through that, and definitely coming back and helping us out.
As Dodie did bring up, you did have a couple of games where you weren't playing up to the level that we know you're capable of, but over the last week, you really have stepped it back up, playing to the way that we know you can play. What is it a tribute to you being able to get back on the right track?
Just practicing, coming to practice early and just shooting around when there's nobody around, and just keep working hard and never giving up.
Jumping from JV to varsity this year and also coming in as a starter. How has that whole transition been for you?
It's been good. It's a faster pace and I have to get used to it, but wasn't gonna let that stop me, and just being a starter really shows what y'all think of me and how y'all know I can contribute to the team, and yeah, it just feels good to be a part of the team.
And lastly, for your teacher of the week, you picked your mom. Obviously, of course, mothers play an important role in all of our lives, but can you talk briefly about just how your mom has impacted your role from a teaching and education standpoint?
She just gives me real life examples to go off of, and we've just been learning off of each other. I learned from her, she learned from me, and yeah, she just teaches me things that I need in real life, and she never gives up on me and always teaches me what I need to know.
All right, shout out to Ms. Torres.
Yeah, shout out to all the moms. I love you too, Mom.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all again for watching our show. One of the things that we are trying to do is expand our horizons. We're trying to venture out and see how other sports and other activities operate and try to learn what they do. And the beautiful thing about our program, both softball and girls basketball, is that a lot of our girls do several other sports. And one of the things they do is cheerleading. So with that being said, I'm bringing up our senior, Alani, to come up here. Alani, tell us, how long have you actually been a cheerleader?
Other than high school, I've been cheering since like first grade.
So you've been cheering your entire life?
I've been cheering.
Okay, so what made you get into cheerleading?
Well, I was in elementary, and I don't know what made me. It was more of a joke kind of thing. Like, me and my friends were like, oh, let's try out. Like, it looks fun, like part of the school activity. And we tried out, and we made it our first grade.
All right, and so in spite of having to go through COVID, you still had a successful year. First, I'd like to personally apologize to you guys on behalf of homecoming. We had nothing to do with that. Please keep us out of that. Secondly, though, you still had several cheerleaders make nationals?
All-American team.
All-American?
No,
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so even with COVID, Coach Mitchell, she's a really strong coach. She didn't care that we had COVID. We were actually, I think, either the only team or one of the teams who, even if we had to be at home, she would still do practices on Zoom. So we never really missed out on a practice. It was virtual. But once we were cleared and able to come to school and practice, we just pushed even harder. We just came back from state competition last Thursday.
Okay, well, that's awesome, man. Again, congratulations to you guys on having a successful season. Like I said, one of the things we want to actually be able to do is actually learn what you guys do. You guys loaded here? You stretched out? You ready?
Ready.
You pumped?
Sorry.
You locked and loaded?
Ready.
All right, so you're actually going to teach us a cheer. So we're ready when you're ready.
So we're gonna go, there's no team.
Okay.
Whoa,
We're up in the yard all of a sudden.
There's no team. Do it wrong. So there's no team.
Wait, if you can't stop, wait.
There's no
Yeah.
team. Let's F-I-G-H-T. Let's fight! D-A-T, let's fight. Let's get started and show my let's F-I-G-H-T, let's fight. Let's get started and show my F-I-G-H-T, let's fight. Let's get started and show my F-I-G-H-T, let's fight.
All right, so thank y'all again for watching our show.
Yes.
Shout out to again Annalise for being player of the week. Shout out to our softball girls, Jill Marcel and Kayla, for being a part of our first softball version. And thank you to Alani for enlightening us to the world of cheerleading.
Go team, go!
All right, again, thank y'all for watching. Tune in next week. Better have a great day.
Y'all be safe.